This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Greetings viewers, I'm Gamechi Samandida and you're tuned into POA Daily News. Stay with us. World Vision Rwanda has launched its 2026 to 2030 strategy in Kigali, unveiling an ambitious plan to improve the well-being of 2.5 million vulnerable children. The event brought together government leaders, development partners, faith institutions and civil society groups committed to strengthening child welfare nationwide. The 5-year strategy aligns with World Vision's global Our Promise framework and Rwanda's National Strategy for Transformation NST2, emphasizing transformational development, child-focused impact, and faith-driven action. It also contributes to key sustainable development goals, reinforcing the organization's commitment to nationally aligned and globally relevant programming. National Director Paul Okumu underscored the urgency of the challenges facing children in Rwanda, noting that each issue represents a human experience requiring a strong coordinated response. Akumu highlighted core priorities for the new strategy: protecting children from harm, improving education, strengthening health and nutrition, building household resilience, and helping communities adapt to climate and economic pressures. She reaffirmed the organization's commitment to deeper partnerships and scalable approaches that deliver greater national impact. The new strategy builds on major progress made during the 2021 to 2025 cycle, when World Vision Rwanda aimed to transform the lives of 2 million children. DRC President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwandan President Paul Kagame are expected to visit Washington on 4 December to align a U.S.-brokered peace agreement aimed at ending conflict in Eastern Congo and opening the door for Western investment in the region's mineral sector, sources told Reuters. The agreement builds on a June peace framework signed by the country's foreign ministers, as well as a recent economic integration framework. Tshisekedi's spokesperson emphasized that while regional integration is supported, Congo's sovereignty remains non-negotiable. Washington has highlighted that a stable security environment could unlock multi-billion-dollar investments in the DRC, rich in cobalt, gold, tantalum, copper, lithium, and other strategic minerals critical to global supply chains. Progress on earlier security measures, such as neutralizing the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda and withdrawing Rwandan forces, has been limited. Morocco's fertilizer exports to Brazil rose sharply in 2025, with phosphate-based shipments increasing 32.2% year-on-year to 559.2 million between January and October, according to data from the Arab-Brazilian Chamber of Commerce and the Ministry of Trade. Total Brazilian imports from Morocco reached $1.31 billion in the first 10 months, up 3.6% from 2024, driven mainly by phosphate and compound fertilizers. The increase pushed Morocco's exports to Brazil above Brazilian exports to the kingdom during the same period. Brazil's shipments to Morocco fell 5% to around $1 billion, with sugar, corn, and livestock as the main exports. Sugar sales dropped sharply by 35.2% to $462.4 million. Overall, bilateral trade between the two countries stood at approximately $2.3 billion, remaining broadly stable compared with 2024 despite the decline in Brazilian exports. The trend highlights Morocco's growing role as a key fertilizer supplier to Brazil amid rising global demand for phosphate-based products. Moving to IGAD, the 2025 IGAD Media Awards has concluded in Addis Ababa with journalists from across the Horn of Africa expressing deep pride, emotion and renewed commitment to climate storytelling after receiving the region's top media honors. The awards celebrated journalistic excellence under the theme Storytelling for Climate Action for a Secure, Resilient and Stable Region, reaffirming IGAD's commitment to recognizing media professionals contributing to regional peace, development and climate action. The ceremony was attended by Ethiopian Foreign Affairs Minister Gideon Timotheus, IGAD Executive Secretary Workneh Gebeyo, ambassadors and other senior officials. Ugandan multimedia reporter Ayebere Cinderella described the moment as both affirming and motivating, saying the recognition proves that the stories journalists tell across the IGAD region truly matter. It feels so great. I'm so happy our stories are being recognized, she said, noting that the award strengthens her to continue reporting despite the pressure surrounding upcoming elections in several IGAD countries. We must be careful with the language we use. News is important, but our safety comes first, she added.
It feels so great. I'm so happy. It's so good that our stories are being recognized. It's so good that people are hearing about what we are doing across the IGAD region, which motivates us as journalists to do better. This award inspires other journalists to do better, to report safely, to use correct words while reporting, especially since most of the countries in the IGAD region are nearing elections. We should really be careful with the type of words we use. As journalists, yes, news comes first, but our safety comes first. I feel as the media, we should constantly fight for climate change, using all the media platforms, digital, TV, articles, everywhere. These days, people even use TikTok. Influencers use TikTok. I feel that's where we should really put a lot of energy in. We should push for climate change we should push so that climate change can be controlled in all these various regions, so that we can avoid disasters and losses of lives, losses of food, drought. The climate impact on food security is right now most places are in drought. It's really hot. In Uganda right now, it's hot. In northern Uganda, crops have died, they've dried up, and imagine we are nearing December. Where are these people going to get food to eat from? From nowhere, because of the climate change. The weather just changes. Tomorrow it's raining, the next day it's real drought. And not the good rain, the floods that just come and sweep away each and everything away.
Reflecting on worsening droughts, floods and food insecurity, she urged leaders to prioritize climate action. Climate change affects food education, people's well-being. Leaders should put all their energy into fighting it. From Ethiopia, Getinet Shenkute of the Ethiopian News Agency said the award marked one of the most memorable moments of his career. This recognition is not only a personal achievement, but a milestone for my organization, he said.
This is one of the memorable moments in my professional journey for storytelling for just nearly a decade and dedication. This recognition is not only a personal milestone, but also it is very important to my organization, my home organization, Ethiopian News Agency, which is dedicatedly working to create Ethiopian narrative as well as an African narrative. So my work was actually on climate data, the importance of climate data. As you know, the whole Africa, especially the East African region, the IGAD region, is suffering from climate-induced impacts. So this situation highly requires the involvement of journalists, storytellers. So today's recognition is a lot for my work, and it's beyond celebrating journalism, but it's encouraging and inspiring for future work.
Getinet, who has spent nearly a decade documenting climate issues, said the award reaffirms the value of his work on climate data and evidence-based storytelling. It means a lot. It goes beyond celebrating journalism. It inspires future work. Somali environmental advocate Ahmed Absia founder of the Green Media Initiative, was visibly overwhelmed as he received the Influencer of the Year award. "I'm really delighted. I cannot find enough words to describe this moment," he said. He expressed pride in the impact his platform has made back home, empowering youth and journalists with climate knowledge.
Thank you, and I'm really delighted to receive this very good and from IGAD, this award. I'm honored to receive it, and I'm actually happy. It says Influencer of the Year, so it means that my impact has been appreciated and celebrated in the region. So thank you very much, and I'm having a great night here in Addis Ababa. It is just what a moment, let me say that, because I cannot find words, actually enough words to describe this wonderful event and receiving this great award from the IGAD region, from the IGAD Secretariat. And also I would like to thank you to the IGAD Secretariat for the event, and also recognizing the importance of having such awards for journalists who are focusing the critical issues in the region.
This award shows that our impact is appreciated and celebrated across the region. It motivates us to keep pushing. APSIA also extended gratitude to the IGAD Secretariat, the jury and supporters of his initiative. This recognition encourages us to continue promoting climate education and environmental awareness in Somalia and beyond. As the 2025 IGAD Media Awards concluded, the impressions shared by the honorees revealed a common theme: the power of recognition to inspire stronger storytelling, deeper community engagement, and renewed commitment to climate action across the Horn of Africa. Now to business. At the 2025 Africa Investment for Market Days in Rabat, policymakers and investors warned Africa is running out of time to close its massive infrastructure and climate finance gaps. The panel on innovative finance instruments highlighted that Africa invests only half of the $150 billion it needs annually for infrastructure, while receiving $30 billion of the $300 billion required each year for climate action. Panelists stressed that new financing tools, from blended finance and Islamic green bonds to diaspora vehicles, are essential for meeting rising demographic and urban pressures. Dr. Abeid Saif Hamad Al-Zabi urged a major shift in financing food systems, calling climate change a financial risk and advocating stronger guarantees, sustainable instruments, digitalization, and support for smallholder farmers. Former Senegalese Economy Minister Abdou Hout emphasized that the primary obstacle for Africa is the lack of bankable projects. He highlighted the need for significantly improved project preparation capabilities, better management of currency risks, and increased mobilization of domestic capital. Hout specifically called for greater involvement for sovereign wealth funds and pension assets to address these challenges. Panelists delivered a unified message: Africa's sustainable transformation depends on rapidly scaling innovative finance to convert demographic and climate pressures into investable, transformative projects. Cocoa futures surged more than 6% today, with New York's March contracts jumping as much as 7 to 8% in early trading to approach $5,500 per metric ton. The rally builds on Friday's momentum as tightening global supply continues to unsettle markets. The latest boost follows a sharp forecast revision by the International Cocoa Organization (ICCO), which slashed its 2024-25 global surplus estimate to 49,000 metric tons, down from 142,000. The ICCO also cut projected production to 4.69 million metric ton from 4.84 million metric ton, signaling the first surplus in 4 years, but still highlighting significant supply strain. Market jitters deepened after Ivory Coast, the world's top cocoa producer, reported a 3.7% year-on-year drop in port arrivals, while Nigeria is expected to see an 11% decline in output. A softer US dollar further encouraged short covering among traders, amplifying upward price pressure. Despite the rebound, cocoa prices remain under heavy long-term pressure. Futures are still down roughly 40% compared with a year ago and have fallen more than 10% this month alone, reflecting lingering volatility in the market. Moving to sports, world champion South Africa humiliated Wales on Saturday, inflicting a record 73-0 defeat on their hosts. It was the Springboks' 13th win in 15 games this season and the most points the team has scored under coach Rassie Erasmus' guidance against Wales. For Wales, it was their heaviest ever home defeat as they were kept scoreless in Cardiff for the first time in decades. The team barely got their hands on the ball for much of the game while the Springboks scored 11 tries. However, the match was marred minutes from full time as Springbok lock Ibn Esbeth was sent off with a permanent red card for an IGAD own. He will now have to face a disciplinary committee with a minimum 12-week ban from the game. Esbeth is the third South Africa lock shown a straight red card in November. Speaking after the match, Erasmus said, "It did not look good. I thought it was a justified red card. I'm not sure if it was provoked, but that's not the way we want to play." The four-time Rugby World Cup winners are finishing the season as the top team in world rankings. The draw for the 2027 tournament takes place on Wednesday. Now let's take a look at the current weather forecast and the anticipated conditions across the region. That wraps up our broadcast for POA News for this hour. Thank you for joining us and stay tuned for more news updates from Africa. The third IGAD Media Awards, held in Addis Ababa from 29 to 30 November, concluded on Sunday night with a vibrant grand ceremony celebrating the outstanding journalists and media professionals